Good morning, lovelies, and welcome to 5:30 a.m. 5 a.m. Writers Club for the hashtag 7-day book challenge. I am Mama Maggie Ward, and I'm going to be hosting today. We have our lovely co-host, the Pomodoro Kitty. Yay! Oh my goodness. So I'm fighting a migraine today, so I'm probably going to be in avatar mode most of the day. I changed this avatar that I had from years ago into like a blue scale to go with the rest of the theme of the 7-day writing challenge. So here we are, and let us see who is with us today. Really? Yeah, even the Chihuahuas are grumpy today. Even the Chihuahuas. RC Scott showed up very early this morning. He is on his way to the work. Just Eva is going to be back after taking the little to school. Hello, lovely. Thank you for stopping by, Shannon. Enjoy the like button. Got the kiddo on the bus. Yes, that is what happens when you live 2 hours east of everyone. They're all up and doing things, and you're barely clutching your coffee and hanging on. Good morning, Sky, my fellow Mountain Time Zoner. Morning, I'm alive, ready to write, I think. Yes. Yeah, same here, barely hanging on this morning. Yeah, it is going to be, yes, that thing, words today. I am going to be, until my migraine medicine kicks in, I will not be able to write creatively because that's just not something I can do when I have these headaches. So I'm going to be doing some editing on my Pagosa Cliff series. All the edits are done. I've gotten everything back from the betas. Actually, I need to work on the formatting today. I hate formatting. Maybe I'll work on something else. I mean, I need to work on Pagosa Cliffs because I need to get anemones in the wind and the windflowers to my editors. But I'm not feeling the formatting thing today. I'm not feeling anything today except drinking as much of this lovely chamomile and mint tea as possible. You're only an hour. Are you in the Central Time Zone or the Eastern Time Zone? I thought you were in Eastern. Why was I thinking you were in Eastern? I don't know. Yes, hello, RC. Do the thing. We're going to try. We're going to try to do the thing today. All right. So, be sure you have something to hydrate with, even if it's steeped ground seeds, because coffee is technically made from water. So, maybe it's vegetable broth. Is it vegetable broth or seed broth? I don't know. Oh, Central, you're in that part of Florida that's actually in the Central Time Zone. Okay, my bad. I knew you were in Florida, and my brain says Florida is Eastern. Okay. Where was I? Coffee is mud water. Depends on how you make it. It really does. It also depends on the bean you use, which, by the way, not really beans, they're seeds. It depends on the seed you use and how it was roasted and how it was ground to determine the flavor. Also, the genetics of your beans are very important because there are some beans that just have bad genetics. And why am I rambling on this? Because I went down a rabbit hole a couple weeks ago where I have a coffee plant botanist as the main character of a book. So I had to do all the research because yay. Mine is really creamer with a dash of coffee and water. All right. We are 5 minutes in after the intro, so let's get started on our first timer. Good luck and happy productivity. I'm going to go through my work in progress files to see where I'm at on things and what I can work on today. Mew, mew, mew. How did you do? Good morning, Laura. Already writing for 2 hours this morning. Done with chapter 4. That's amazing. Wow, so early. Did you even sleep last night? Good morning, Jordan. The Blind World. Hi, Mama Maggie, Laura. Hey, Laura. And ignore anything I said last night. I've been using dictation. Jordan also said hello to Shannon and asked how the novella was going. Hannah came in. Good morning, Hannah. I hope you are getting some writing done this morning. Shannon got 418 words. And Laura says that yes, she did sleep. That's good. That's good. Shannon says to Jordan, the novella is pretty much done. Sending it off to the beta readers here soon. That's good. I just started running. I do this thing. It's in my 15 steps of editing. Step number 8 is searching for forbidden words. Had that like just very really this, than, which, Ben, stared, growled, nearly nodded, and shrugged. And rolling their eyes. That's something that I also look for because it seems to be something that we all just like write into books and we don't even know why. Rolly-eyed, shruggy characters who chew their lips off. I don't know why. It's a thing. So I started running that on it's step 8 of my 15 and I started doing it again. Everything looks pretty clean. I don't have excessive numbers of the forbidden words. So I might go on to check what I call the dreaded said. Because yeah, we people use that a lot. I try to avoid using that because I had a writing instructor that was like, never use said is dead. So if you use too much said, your manuscript is dead. That was her mantra. All right. Shannon got 643 words. That's awesome. Jordan is off to lunch, doing college, and also says doing college courses now, so I won't be in the live stream much as a pop-by when I can. Well, you're always welcome, Jordan. Shannon says, I loved it when you pointed out all my hads and that's in my novel, Penumbra Mine. I never thought to search for those words, but now I know I use them a lot. Yes. My forbidden words list started off with had, that, like, just, really, and actually. Those were the ones that, and I don't know why I use actually and really so much, except that I was a teenager in the 80s. So yeah, I was doing that a lot. And I had a sister who was, even though we were in Texas, she was very, very fluent in Valley speak. And I honestly think she just did it to annoy my father and my grandparents. But yeah. Shannon says, I used to use just and very a lot. Yeah, people don't realize forbidden words. And I had this discussion on another stream a few days ago because I'm going to, please don't tell Richard this. Please don't tell Richard this, but I'm actually starting to plan a newsletter. He knows I'm the biggest hater of like newsletters, and so I'm planning on writing a newsletter. I'm going to pause the timer for a minute because I feel like we need to talk about this. Pause for a moment. for a PSA. All right. PSA on reader magnets. Yes, I did see the newsletter class. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I'm also going to go back and watch some of the stuff that Richard has done on newsletters. Yeah, getting a newsletter started, that's a thing. So here's my PSA on reader magnets for your newsletters. If you are going to do a reader magnet, please, 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 please don't make the mistake that so many of these authors, I've been going through and I've literally signed up for like 20 newsletters in like this month, just to look at the reader magnets. And there were some newsletters that I was already signed up for, and I had their reader magnets to look at. So I've got about 20. Except for 4 of them, and one of them that I realized the entire story idea came from an episode of either like, it came from an episode of Criminal Minds and an episode of NCIS pushed together. So, and there was a few aspects from like a Bones episode that I recognized. But basically 3.5, almost 4 of the reader magnets out of like 20 were really, really good. They made me really want to read the book. And I've read little stuff by Shannon before, so she sent me a reader magnet. I know I would read her stuff. However, the vast majority of them, like 17 of them, I now have 9 of those authors on Do Not Buy list because their reader magnet was so bad. The purpose of a reader magnet is to get readers to want more of your writing, to want to go and spend money on your books, not to be reading something and being like, well, there is 20 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. Or to just like finally, like the 3rd or 4th page in, go, I can't even. If you forget your own world building in your reader magnet, and in the entire world building setup in chapter 1 changes at the very beginning of chapter 2, that is a problem. If your reader magnet is supposed to be a 22 to 30-year-old person who has a 20-something person who has trained their whole life for a job, please don't make them a hysterical 14-year-old in a 20-something body. If your reader magnet, I mean, it's a free thing. So it's really hard to spend time and to make it quality. But the reason that I went off on this tangent when I talked about the dreaded said is because there was one reader magnet that I read that literally the only dialogue tags the author used were said and asked. And I was reading it on my Kindle. And you know how small Kindle pages are. There were pages that had upwards of 10 or 11. He said, she said, he said, she said, she said, he said, he asked, she said. And I was on a stream and I literally listed them. And it wasn't until the very last 2 chapters where there was a smexy scene and then the end, the happy ever after. Because it was supposed to be like a cozy romance, but it had a smexy scene at the end, but I was okay with that. It was well written. But here's the thing, the last 2 chapters read like a totally different read like a really good ghostwriter, but the ghostwriter was a better writer than the original author. I'm not kidding. If the writer in the last 2 chapters had written the whole book, I would be buying everything this woman wrote. Everything, literally everything she wrote. I would be on board with this because it's cowboy romance, and I love it when somebody gets the ranch writing right. I love it when they do that research. But it got annoying because it said, and that killed it for me. But yeah, so like, lovelies, listen to me and my research. Make your reader magnet nice. Make your reader magnet nice, because if it's something that you just throw together to get out, you're going to lose more readers than you catch. Because, like I said, I now have 9 readers on my do not buy list because so bad. It was just so bad. It was worse. It was worse than the writing that I was doing when I first started writing after my stroke. I mean, you can't change eye colors in the middle of a book unless you're like an elf or a witch or something. You can't like repeatedly name a place and then try to make it look like it's in a different state. You can't have your character have schizophrenic episodes. Shannon says, I wonder if my reader magnet is going to be full enough. Yeah, it will. Most of these that I read are 20,000 words-ish or less. I have a beta copy of my book class for that. Sky says, wow, that sucks. Yes, it was so bad. It was so bad. And, this is why I do research. So, me, I have to do all the research. Okay, I'm sharing the link. This is an in-depth class on author newsletters, 4.5 hours long. I was there for most of this. I had to go get the child and come back, but I was there for most of this. I had as many as 7.5 on my newsletter, which I built in less than a year. I had to call the list to keep readers who really wanted to hear from me. Currently at 5,600 subs. That is really, really good. My editor gave me reports on my published trilogy, including the use of dialogue tags. I had 2 seds in Blood of the Lily. I prefer using action beats over dialogue tags. I'm the same. I prefer using action beats over dialogue tags. But literally, I went through and did a search of seds, and for the one that I read that was all the seds, the first 10 chapters had over 2,000 of the words said. I don't remember the number. I just remember that it was over 2,000. And it was like, I'm like, how can you have, or over how many was it? Like 200? No, I don't remember now. I'm sorry, my migraine brain. But no, it worked out to an average of 10 seds per page. It worked out to 10 seds per page. It was crazy. And Eva is back from the bus stop, from taking a kiddo to school. Hello, Just Eva. Welcome back. Just Eva, my current co-list is at 41 for my LLC. Yes. If you don't know, Just Eva runs a website called Book in Lane, and she's getting her merch shop back, which is good because I need to order a second genre slut mug, because hashtag I am a genre slut, and I need to get a new mug because I almost broke my genre slut mug, and I would have been very, very salty about that because it is one of my favorite mugs. Hello, Felicia. How are you this morning? It is good to see you. SD says, I think my reader magnet was about 12,000. My subscriber count is small, but growing. Doesn't help that I've never really been consistent with it. Don't feel bad, Sky. I have never even tried it. And Eva and Shannon both posted the link to Eva's store. So, yes, please go check out Book in Lane for all of the indie authors. I need to get myself put on there, by the way. Yeah, I need to remember to do that, put myself on there, because I have 25 books. Yeah, so there's that. All right. I have rambled on randomly for like 20 minutes. All right. Yeah, the store later this year. It needs to come back. I need to get another genre slut mug. I really do. Okay. All right, what are we doing? Okay. I'm going back to looking for SEDs. I'm going to go look for SEDs in this manuscript. And I'm going to let all of you have some productivity. I think this will be the last sprint we do today. I'm sorry. My migraine medicines are not working. And I'm sitting here with my computer on its dimmest setting and the light turned down. And I just feel like my brain is being peeled in half, and this little walnut growth thing that's in the side of my left medial lobe just like it feels like it's like rolling back and forth inside my brain. It's just not comfortable. So let us get another 25 minutes, and happy productivity to everyone. Well, lovelies, that is the end of the last sprint. How did you do? Going back to where I stopped in the comments. We were talking about the genre slut mugs, the hashtag genre slut mugs. I know that from Eva, they were one of the best sellers. She says the new Book and Lane shop may have to play around with some of the designs of it too. Mugs and teas are the main items. I'm hoping to add a blanket. Canvas bags are also very popular. Everyone likes a tote. And with so many states now requiring that people bring their own bags to go shopping with, I don't know if you have this in many other states, but several of the western states, Colorado included, require that you bring your own reusable shopping bags. And yet, everything you buy in the grocery store literally is wrapped in plastic. So, yeah, there's that. She says she's sus of their quality and price. I know that when I used discount mugs in Florida, I was really happy, but 2 of the mugs were misprinted and I had to have them send me replacements. Morgan Lee came in. Hello, Morgan. Good morning. Everyone is saying good morning to Morgan. I lost most of this hour to the phone and the kitten. No regrets. RC says, I actually did some words while riding on the subway. Babies crying, people listening to music without earbuds. I was jamming next to a guy who was about 6'5" and 300 pounds of solid muscle. I can't get an attitude with a guy like that. Well, this is true. This is true. Shannon got 159 words. Eva agrees. I do like a good tote. R.C. Scott, BYOB is bring your own bag. Eva says, our state still uses plastic. We are trying to bring our own bags. Yes, RC, it is ironic that all of our food comes in plastic. I would rather have glass. Honestly, I would rather things come in metal or glass so that at least I can take them to be recycled. I am old enough to remember when you would open a cabinet, and this may be just a southern thing because we lived in Kansas and then we moved to Texas, where you would open a cabinet and there would be a dozen different sizes and shapes of glass jars, and then you got to play lid Jenga, which is basically putting every different lid out of a specific drawer onto the jar that you picked to find the one that fit. And if that didn't work, you would just put a piece of wax paper and a rubber band over it. Eva says the plastic bags and plastic straws are lightweight to recycle as compared to a lot of packaging that can be recycled. But yeah, big corporations could do way better. And this is something very interesting that I learned that was from declassified congressional documents. The whole push toward the recycling, recycling plastics, used plastics because they're easier to recycle, blah, blah, blah. It was actually funded by the oil companies in the 90s. So they encouraged the switch to plastic with the claim that recycling was a valuable alternative, when in truth, less than 10% of plastics globally are recycled or are even recyclable. And regulations like that food plastics aren't to be recycled. So, and plastics that were used for soap bottles, like laundry detergent bottles, which is one of the biggest offenders, yeah, the laundry chemicals can't be cleaned out of them. So, and they're too soft of a plastic once they're recycled to be converted back to a hard plastic without mixing them with like 80% new plastic. So you're actually on a downward curve of recycling. And it's just, it really sucks because I've spent decades trying to be very conscientious about sorting and washing and recycling, and even would drive my recyclables the hour into the city and pay for them to be recycled by weight, only to find out that one of our major trash companies, the one that handled all the recycling, wasn't actually recycling anything. The majority of their recyclables, they were recycling aluminum, but the majority of the glass and plastic that was dropped off to be recycled, that was paid to be recycled, ended up in a landfill, while the paper products ended up in incinerators. So recycling, the oil companies got the whole world hooked on using plastic for convenience and for safety, with no intention other than creating a different demand for petroleum. And it sucks. It sucks for us all because now we have oceans filled with plastics. They're saying that by 2050 there will be more plastic by weight in the ocean than animals. And I mean, I follow a channel where they in Namibia, on the Skeleton Coast, where they rescue enough seals that they can put up daily videos of seal rescues from plastic pollution. So yeah, and you can find microplastics literally in every animal on the planet right now. You can find plastic trace in human blood, and yeah, we're poisoning ourselves because the oil companies wanted to make an extra buck. That's my soapbox. I'll put it away now. Shannon says, or Sky says, she got 823 words saying hello to Morgan. RC, I probably could have kicked his. Well, he could have just sat on you and hurt you. Paper bags are still an option. Can't get them all in one trip, but easier to recycle. Yes, and paper made from bamboo is actually the best. Made from bamboo or flax are actually the best options because they are rapid growing plants and they are easily recyclable. RC says he was probably a regular dude who gets judged by his appearance often, that he like a friend over a fight. Empathic view of life. Yes, that's a good thing. RC Scott, I'm old enough to remember when Lady Gaga was Dee Snider. Yeah, that's when my kids were little. I'm older than that. Cardboard is also easy to recycle, but you have to be careful with the glues they're using. SD is killing it. Diapers, cough. Yeah, diapers. Diapers, books, and clothes are huge offenders. Yes, I posted a thing the other day, I think it was on my Facebook page, talking about how in the 1950s the fashion industry had 2 clothing seasons to design for a year, and now they design for 52. And that's, if you Google clothing waste, oh my word, it's terrifying how they're just basically bundling clothing and dumping it in the ocean, or boating it to Africa and dumping it there and just leaving it on the coast. And people literally, they have hundreds of acres of hectare. just clothing, just mountains of clothing that they're just looking through to find stuff to recycle, to resell. It's, yeah. It's part of the reason that the only new clothing I ever buy is underwear and socks. Everything else I buy from the thrift stores because I can't. Okay, Shannon is getting ready for her scream. Shannon, can you post a link to that, please? If you're still here. SD Houston will be streaming in an hour. Sky says, in my experience, most of the landfills I've gone through have designated recycling areas but don't actually recycle. Once the recycle bins are full, they just get dumped with the rest. Yep. Eva says, our garbage pickup includes recycling. It's included and charged for, but no option to not pay for it. Yes, you can demand transparency from your garbage company saying, I want to know where the plastic, where the glass, where the paper, where the metal is going. And they have to tell you. They're required by law to tell you where they are taking your recyclables and to prove that they are actually doing it. Yes, I will be getting a check back as part of a settlement, but it's probably only going to be like $20 or $30. Sky is headed out to get the kiddos. Big brands slice their own clothes. So they will run their clothes through this thing that basically looks like a paper shredder, but it doesn't actually shred them. It just tears up all the fabric so that the fabric can't even be like used to make another garment with, because there's a tear in the fabric about every 1.5 to 2 inches apart. I mean, you can't even make quilt squares out of it. Yeah. The world is a mess, so we write our own. That we do. Makes a note for a shirt. Yes. That would be nice. Put that on a coffee mug. You know me. I love the coffee mugs. Shannon is streaming now. Yeah. Yeah, there is one place here in Colorado that takes electronics, paint, yard chemicals, and they mix all the paint together to make like 3 different colors of paints. And if the cans of paints are more than 2/3 full, they will put them out for the public to pick up. And if they're less than that, they have these big vats and they will mix 3 different colors of paint, and you can go and buy like 5 gallons of mixed exterior or interior paint that's like different shades of beiges and grays and browns, really affordably. And it's all, what it is it's just people drop off paints and they just mix them all together, and then you can put them on your house. They don't weather very well. I will say I've used them and they don't weather very well, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than going to Home Depot or Lowe's and getting paint. Habitat for Humanity. Yes, we have Habitat for Humanity here. They have a lot of things that are being stripped out of houses being torn down. And I can appreciate that they are saving these things for recycling and to be reused rather than just bulldozing them and putting them in a big dumpster to go to the dump. I have found, though, that we're tearing down an older trailer house on our property. I found that literally the only things that are recyclable in it are the kitchen and bathroom fixtures, the tub and sink and stuff, because it's older. They're enameled metal, so they can be recycled. The wiring can be recycled. The light fixtures and stuff, it depends on which one it is. They have to be taken apart to be recycled. But for the most part, the wood, the insulation, the wallboard, the floor, all of that is it's going to end up in a landfill because there is no place that will take stuff like that to recycle it. And you can tell that I am sedated on migraine medicine because I'm just rambling now. Random fun chats. Yes, random migraine chats. What had redoing a trailer you say? Sounds like fun content. Not really, and the youngest would not let me film her doing it because she goes out there with the sledgehammer, and yeah, stress relief. Tearing apart an old trailer with a sledgehammer for stress relief is great for teenagers. Highly recommend it, and it's much more affordable than driving the hour into the city for martial arts lessons. Right. Eva, can you please share the link to Shannon's stream so we can all hop over there? I would really appreciate it. I don't have the spoons to do this right now. I'm so glad everyone came today. I do truly, truly appreciate it. I'm going to see if I can find my outro video. I know it's here somewhere. Bless you, Eva. You are an angel of mercy. All right. Okay. Okay, there it is. All right. Here's the outro. Be blessed. Have a very lovely day, and I will see you, if not later today, then tomorrow morning for another #7-Day Book Challenge 5 a.m. Writers Club.